it's said that the single most potent manner to sell is the transfer of conviction in your product to the buyer. Now, the Pleiadians would take this one step further. They say it's a transfer of embodied conviction to the buyer. So how do we achieve this? Embodying the conviction, you be from the conviction. So this on a template level offers vibrational transference of the transformation so that people feel it. So if you're not yet being from the conviction when it comes to your own efficacy first, and then your services and products next, then on a deeper level, the question needs to be asked, why not? What needs to happen for you to have the fullest conviction in yourself, so who you are, and what needs to happen for the fullest conviction in your products, team, cultural ecosystem, the all to take place? What creates that conviction for you? So we become aware of it, what creates that conviction, and then we can ask ourselves what needs to happen for us to fully embody this conviction. So some might say getting greater awareness of how your product transforms, review testimonials so you can reassure yourself, measure KPIs if your KPIs are client outcomes. And on a practical level, from a Pleiadian perspective, they say yes, bring the mind into a space where the conviction is held. In the very least, it's going to allow you to structure information in a way that's persuasive and helpful for allowing your prospects to reach a decision about your product or service. And the Pleiadians come from a different and lesser spoken about, more foundational perspective when it comes to conviction of yourself and your services, when it comes to sales. So they don't see this conviction as quote unquote efficacy or perfection of the product or service per se, as many marketers would advocate. They suggest that the more you're able to transfer the conviction that every part of the client belongs, is loved, and is included, the more likely that person is to be magnetized by you primarily, and magnetized by what you offer. So they ask us to think about this. In purchasing your product or service, that person is acting out of self-interest. They aren't buying for you, they're buying for them. So if they feel like you allow every part of them to be loved, included, and belong, then that in turn gives them permission to allow in what they've wanted all along, not just since childhood, but since the beginning of their conception as a soul and being. And that is to accept themselves, to see God in themselves. This is a primal state of being for a human and for a soul. It's everything for us. It's everything that they've wanted. Love, inclusion, and belonging are not only primal states in the human collective, but in the animal collective and even in other star systems and space systems and other beings who have life. All want to belong. As I've received it from the Pleiadians, belonging brings in states, plural, of euphoria. And by states, they mean under the umbrella of belonging, there are other tones. We have approval, acceptance, care, love, attention, and there are even more subtle tones in there. So tenderness, affection, regard, appraisal, so being seen for where you are and held for where you're going. You've got in-jokes, so there's so much more. So whilst yes, they invite in that you can and will create practical, tangible transformation with your clients and customers, so helping the client get the outcome they know they need and you know they need, on the deepest of deep levels, no matter who you're transacting with, in any plane of existence, you're being asked by their higher self and also their deepest roots for love, inclusion, and belonging. So belonging is all that's really and truly being asked for. So even consider this, in being here on this YouTube channel, listening to this video, this channel is dedicated to the elevation of your internal and external appreciation and application of money energetics. You are seeking within you a sense of belonging. You want to be in the inner circle, in the know-how of those who do. Welcome into those places within yourself that will allow you to have abundance and wealth. So we can ask what needs to happen on the deepest of deep levels that your conviction in your service will be transferred to the buyer through accepting yourself, through allowing yourself to belong. Where, how, and to whom do you feel the deepest sense of belonging? Well, as I received from the Pleiadians, they say they already know, you want to belong fully to yourself. So when all of you, as a seller in this picture, as a fragment that has been splintered off and doesn't know what it means to be held, is held by you, you open up this most profound ability to transfer that conviction to another. So you become the ultimate invitation. Now, the Pleiadians assure us that if you allow yourself to hold all of you and you embody this in how you share into the marketplace and how you offer, you will become magnetic. Your sense of belonging yourself is inviting others into a deeper sense of belonging within themselves. And when you combine that with a really good product that works, this will be more than enough to pass on conviction of who you are and what you have to offer others. So you become the invitation into belonging, which is the deepest of deep human drives that actually exists. So being conviction in the truth that all of you belongs. So even if you can't actually manage to be in it fully, but at least you acknowledge the truth that all of you does belong, then that's all that you can do. That's all that you can do at that point in time. So from this place, you become empowered to pass on that conviction to another. And if the offering will clearly help them and it's been well communicated, and at that place, your prospective clients decide to stand down from your invitation from a place of belonging in themselves, because their own integration at that point has scared them absolutely senseless. So what you're selling is conviction, and your deepest manner of conveying that conviction is to be that conviction. And to be that conviction, you must first be in conviction into the wholeness of yourself, the belongingness of every facet, quirk, pain, fear, rejection, coping strategy, illusion, all of it that you have inside of yourself, allowing all of these parts to have a home within you, welcoming them all in. Now, you don't need to share this all publicly and explicitly. You're simply becoming the person who's allowed every part of themselves to belong. From this space, the clients, the prospects, they feel like it's safe to be around you. They can really feel that. They have a sense of someone who is really expending a huge amount of energy rejecting parts of themselves, especially shame and embarrassment. They sense that fragmentation. And as I've received it from the Pleiadians, it's an instinctual thing. We're very highly attuned to fragmentation in people, because the more fragmented people are, the more dangerous they become. So our body is very attuned to that. Love yourself through welcoming all of you into the space. This is how you sell. Now, it sounds strange, and as the Pleiadians have shared with me, it remains largely untalked about, but people are crying out to be held fully in love, acceptance, and ownership of all parts of themselves. So perhaps your product or service offering has nothing to do with these things practically, but you're still dealing with humans and all they desire is belonging on the deepest levels. Do you feel you'll be able to sell your product and offering to someone who, amongst many other possibilities of purchasing things on the market, feels that you are holding and loving into their deepest desire and human need for belonging, which drives almost every single other behavior they have? Of course they're going to choose you. So business isn't this cold transaction of goods, it's a relational transaction and the receivership of value from both parties. So we want to work on the practical, clear, tangible transformation of our products and services. Any marketer can tell you this, but that's not what the Pleiadians are here for. They want to tell you to not forget that humans are humans, and well, universally, beings are beings, and beings want to belong. It helps us to feel closer to ourselves. It brings us closer to creation ourselves. Nobody says this, but this is the journey that we're on in reality. So align yourself first with belonging, allow and embody that for yourself, then weave this embodiment through into your expressions of your services, containers, websites, how you show up, sales calls as you're selling into the marketplace. And allow the effortless conviction to come through your sales, the seemingly elusive conviction to be transferred across to your prospective clients, buyers, and that will, according to the Pleiadians, increase your sales. Thank you so much for listening, and I shall see you in the next video.